Hello, and welcome to my live, Ethel, and I'm a neurotransformational life coach, Akashic Record practitioner, and feminine embodiment coach. I'm going to be going live for the next week or so to talk about the importance of divine feminine energy and how it can really change your life, how it can enhance your life if you are a woman that has been struggling with your power, or knowing what your power really is, right? Because as a society, we've been conditioned to shrink ourselves, to seek validation outside of ourselves, to think that we're not good enough, to compete with other women, to put other women down. And so this is why I think that there's so much competition when it comes to women in general, competing with each other and calling each other names, what have you. This is because our divine feminine is activated within us and we don't know what to do with that, right? And so if you don't know what to do and someone else, another woman is awake and she's integrated in her divine feminine, that can be a little bit triggering. It can be triggering because you don't know what to do. And we don't get taught to tune into our divine feminine, to tune into our own power, and to come from that place. And so this is why I love teaching about the divine feminine and how it can change our lives. In creation, there are two energies. There's masculine and feminine energy. If you are always using masculine energy, if you are always in masculine energy, that there's an imbalance there, right? So, and by the way, both of us, men and women, have both creation energies. So, and some men may be like, okay, what does that even mean? It means that, one moment, because this culture is a culture of hustle, right? It's all about domination and hustling and working hard. But the divine feminine is about leaning back, right? Leaning back and tuning into the essence that's within you. This is the essence of receiving, not hustling, not working yourself to the bone. It's about tuning into, one moment, there we go. If you're a woman on here, I want you to tune into your body right now. And as I'm speaking, I want you to kind of feel what's going on in your body, right? This is the time for the divine feminine to awaken. This is the time that we're being coached to tune into our own power. What does your divine feminine feel like to you? Like when you tune into your body and actually really feel what comes up for you, how does it feel? Because I'll tell you, it's very powerful. And, we may be tempted to kind of put a lead on it because it's something different from what we've been taught. But what if you dug deeper? What if you went deeper to feel what your power feels like, right? This is not common knowledge. The divine feminine has been suppressed for a long time. And I really think that it is a duty of every woman on this planet right now to begin to awaken and reintroduce yourself to the power that's within you. I'm going to be hosting a free webinar about how to tap in and recognize your divine feminine and use it in your everyday life. How to begin to slowly tap in and begin to work with her, right? Begin to be okay with her coming up. Because it's not subtle. This is why, and I think a lot of men in power know this. They know that the divine feminine is very powerful and it creates powerfully. Not in a hustle way, not in a controlled way. You get to sit back and receive from a place of ease, not frantic energy, not hustle energy, not competition energy. This planet has been overrun with masculine energy for the longest time. It's time to awaken the divine within you. Do you know why women compete with each other? Do you know why we shrink our energy? Do you know why we criticize other women? for how they are being, how they show up, what they look like, how they choose to carry themselves, what they're wearing, how they're showing up in general. That's a tactic to keep us separated and divided, and also separated from our own power inside of us. But a lot of women are beginning to awaken now, to begin to tap into their divine nature. You can feel it when your divine feminine begins to speak from inside of you. You can feel her potent power when she's speaking through you. You can feel activated. You feel like there's something that wants to come out and express itself in a different way. Like I mentioned, with no pushing, no forcing, no hustling, and really no competition. She does not negotiate when she's awakened. She does not negotiate how to be. Your divine feminine is not going to negotiate with your ego on how it should be. That's the true power that we have as women. She's very powerful. And like I mentioned, most men in power know this. So we have been conditioned to suppress her. I'm willing to bet some men in power have seen this. And so it's like, okay, how do you get out ahead of that? How do you get out of, how do you program women to keep them severed from their own power? This is how. Make them compete with each other and create false ways to be as a feminine person. Your feminine energy, your feminine power is not soft. Yeah, that's part of it. But that's not all it is. It is not soft. It is not weak. And that's another thing. We've been programmed to think that a feminine being is weak. And then a masculine man is strong and dominant. But I'll tell you, your divine feminine, when it's activated, it comes out and you give yourself permission to let her come out and play. She's going to rewire everything in you and begin to show you how to be in your power and how to be your true authentic self on all levels, right? Yes, masculine energy is needed when taking action, but the intention to do something comes from your divine feminine. You tune in and you ask, is this goal of mine aligned with who I am? And how can we implement this? You are not ego. Ego is a tool. It's meant to be used. It's meant to take orders from you, not the other way around. And so some have used the ego to program us how to be. And so this is where all the competition and what have you comes in. But when you tune into your divine feminine, actually talk to her, feel her essence and ask her, is this goal aligned with who we are? And how can we implement it? Is this going against who I am, or is this going to give me permission to be more of myself, to experience myself at a different level? If so, how can we go about it? When you begin to ask these questions, she's going to answer you. And you will feel it at a cellular level. You will feel the energy in your body. Literally, your cells are becoming alive. That's how you receive answers from your divine feminine, from the core of who you are. You feel it in your body. You feel it in your energy. You feel hairs standing up on your skin. If it's a yes, you will feel it like that. If it's a no, you'll feel it in a different way. But this is the time for the divine to come out. By the way, when your divine feminine is awakened, how you show up is also different. You are not afraid to be yourself. You're not shrinking your energy when you go to the grocery store or when you go somewhere. You're not shrinking your field. Because let me tell you something. When you shrink your energy, when you're somewhere and you shrink your energy, you are opening yourself up to other people's negative thoughts that are in the environment to come in and sabotage you, to come in and tell you who to be. We pick up thoughts and energies from around us, wherever we are, whatever we're doing. If you are not aware, if you are not really doing energy cleansing every day, if you're not like being in tune with who you are before you even step out of the house, you are calling in other energies, and by the way, other entities to actually literally come into your field and program you. Have you ever had an incident where you went somewhere and you came back very differently? You are irritated, pissed, whatever. All of this is unconscious. We have been programmed to get away from our energy and to just come from the mental body, right? Ego, thoughts, practicality, things that make sense. Energy doesn't make sense. Energy doesn't operate from your mental body. Energy is actually part of who you are. It holds the knowledge of your true divinity. So the negative energies that come in, it's very, very loud and disruptive. But we usually don't even like think about it. Or we just know, okay, I was fine a second ago. After talking to this person, after doing this is how I'm feeling now. I just have to deal with it. We are being influenced every day, left and right. And we are asleep to our own power. We don't even know what's happening at a spiritual level. So this is where, like, when you get your Akashic Record reading done, so what the Akashic Records are, they are an energetic database. So this is where all of your divine soul energetics, this is where you actually literally find out just who the heck you are at soul level and how you are meant to show up in a very, very specific way, right? Because when we are seeing someone on social media showing up one way and like we want a life such as what they have, one, that's your soul guiding you, saying, hey, I'm done with this current level of expression. We've exhausted this. We've experienced ourselves to the fullest in this particular energetic vibration. I want something like that. Not to say that you want the life that that person has. You want something similar to that, right? So that means that there's something in it for you. There is an aspect of that your soul wants to express itself through, right? So that you can have an experience that is aligned at a soul level. Not from ego, not, okay, someone has a beautiful home, a beautiful relationship. I love what they have. So let me go have, no. So there's, your soul wants to experience itself in something similar to that, but different from that. It doesn't have to be exactly like what they have. Our souls do guide us how to tap into our soul energetics. So in the Akashic Record is where you find out what energy you are actually meant to come from. Not every energy out there is meant to be used by everybody. This is where I see the problem lies when it comes to processes of manifestations that are out there. Do this, 369, do this, XYZ. And when you do exactly like I say, you're going to have what you want guaranteed. There's no such a thing. It's not true, actually. Because someone can manifest better because they are all about relationships and connections. So therefore, coming from the heart and like really being open and letting the energy, the frequency of their heart come out and enjoy what they're engaged in, whether it's a relationship or they're wanting friendships or connections. That's an example. Someone else manifest better by really enjoying the physical reality. They love money. They love the feeling of sex. They love, just enjoying things that life has to offer, right? The physical plane is delicious energetically to them. But that goes deeper. These are just examples of the different energies that are available to us, and depending on who you are at soul level. One person may be aligned in seeing something that is totally, something that we think is hard. They come in and see the answer right away. Like, they're very, very good at looking at answers and coming up with solutions in the moment, right? So all of this 369 script for like 90 days or whatever. Yeah, that may work for somebody, but it doesn't work for everybody. And someone may be gifted in psychic abilities. They can see truth where people are lying to themselves. They just come in and see, okay, I see what you're doing. You are making excuses to avoid this thing over here. Or you're making excuses for them because you want to still engage with them at this same level where they are, but it's limiting you. This is not who you are though. Why are you making excuses for them just because they are your friend? They are keeping you severed from your own truth, your own power. They want you to be there so they can continue to siphon your energy in this particular level of expression. Just as long as you don't change, just as long as you please me and forget about, doing something else. We are friends. So some friendships, by the way, and I want you to tune into your own body and see if this has ever happened to you. You are on a spiritual healing journey, for example, or you really want to change the concept of yourself. And you've got certain friends in your life, right? And so there are established energetic expression in your friendships. The moment you decide to change yourself, or at least begin to attempt to change yourself, somebody is upset with you over something very little, out of nowhere. Like they manufacture this crazy drama out of nowhere. You want to know what's happening there? They are comfortable in your current level of expression where you are, as long as you're not going looking to change yourself, because there's been an established energetic expression and experience of your friendship. So when you begin to change yourself, they'll begin to think that they'll think that you are abandoning them. You are leaving the friendship behind. Now, when you continue to work on yourself, this same person may come back later and be like, all right, and acclimate to your new frequency, to your new level of expression, right? But if they truly don't want you to grow, if they don't want you to become better in any way, whether that's your mindset, your energy, your expression of yourself, they're going to create drama like you've never seen before, where they're going to blame you for the drama, and they're not going to come back in your life. I've experienced this, and I've seen it in my clients many, many times. So it's like, this is also a wake-up call for some people. Like, when they experience that, then they say, okay, that is good to know. Now I understand the divine soul energetics of how energy works, actually, at an energy level, right? And you decide, okay, do I want to be attracting these same people? Or am I going to put my standards up now? My standards are up. And I'm only going to begin to attract people that are going to meet me here, right? And by the way, when you come out of one vibrational experience of yourself and you up level, you begin to attract people that are already on that level. So you won't have energy depleted you're entangled up into dramatic situations, people that don't value you, people that disrespect your time, what have you. There's always an energetic expression and experience that is going on that people are not aware of, right? They just think that, oh, that's my girl. That's just how she is. Okay. But when you're ready to really live to new vibrations, your soul is going to keep tugging at you, knocking at your heart door there. Hey, we're ready. It's time to experience a different vibration. It's time to move on. This is when you begin to really look at courses or teachers that are going to help you shift your mindset, shift your energy, and actually understand yourself at a spiritual level, at a deep level better. You have a spiritual level, an energetic body, an energy level, and then the mindset and your body. We're not going to discount the body too. So all of these aspects of yourself have to they have to be in alignment with who you are. But the shortcut to do that, if you are a woman, is to awaken your divine feminine. It's going to literally remove anything that is not your truth, and it's going to show you what your power really feels like and how to tap in and how to use it in a way that is aligned. Like I mentioned, we're not meant to hustle, Competition, that's a masculine energy. Whether you're competing for something at work or you're competing with other women. And women that are not, they don't have their divine feminine awakened. So they don't know their power. They are operating in an energetic expression that is not aligned to who they are. Because society has dictated that, okay, if you're gonna survive, you need to hustle, you need to dominate, you need to whatever. When they see a woman that's truly in their power, they look nice, they're confident, they're not curious about what other people think about them. That can be triggering. And this is where you get energetic projection, you get certain thoughts projected onto you. I can tell you how many times I've had women in grocery stores and other places literally audibly say some crazy shit to me, directed at me. And being a psychic and a spiritual empath, I do feel energy. I see the truth of people very clearly, and I see what they're trying to do to me. I see it very clearly. I'm like, that's not gonna fly over here. And so, when you tap into your own divine nature, yeah, you have compassion. But this also forces you to see what's really going on at a spiritual level. There's maybe, some people would say there's a spiritual war going on. I feel like most of that is people don't know who they are truly at a spiritual level. And so the society that we have created as a collective and the ways that we currently express ourselves and experience ourselves within that energy that we've created as a society, it can only go so far. It's very, very disruptive and divisive. It's very divisive, right? So all of these dramatic energies of, I'm not even going to go into politics and left and right or whatever. All of these narratives, they've been created to serve a specific purpose. And if you're not awake and if you are asleep, you put your head in the sand and this is the truth, this is what I'm seeing, and this is how I'm acting, and this is how I'm choosing to act. You don't know that you're actually playing into a secret intention that some people have created for us to be in that divisive energy and restricting energy and an energy that doesn't let you be in your divine power. This is the time we're being called to awaken. Like I've mentioned, the divine feminine is awake. So there's signs that lets us know, okay, it's time. I need to go deeper. If you have been operating in a certain mindset for some time and you know that you don't want to do that anymore, you want to change the concept of yourself. You want to understand what your soul level energetics are, but you don't know how to go about that. That's an indicator that you're ready. And when you hear someone speaking about these things, and I will also just tell you that nothing comes into your consciousness, nothing comes into your awareness without being invited there. When you're ready, I'm not sure if you know this or not. So at night when we sleep, our spirit literally leaves our bodies and goes to the astral planes to discuss our current life. Like we literally go there. We all have a council, right? And spirit guides. Yeah. And spirit guides where we literally talk about what it is that we are gaining from our current level of expression, from a certain situation that we are currently in at a third dimension level. So then we ask for assistance from our spirit guides, or we come up with a new way to navigate that situation. And while we are in the astral planes, we also do revitalize our spiritual bodies and our physical bodies with vital force energy, which is another creative energy that I can talk about for days. So when we are there, this is where we evaluate everything. How do I want to navigate this? And what am I still getting from it? Am I ready to move on? Or am I gonna attract certain people, certain situations to myself to help me deal with this situation right now so that I can move on to the next situation? And when you decide, yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I'm done being a victim. I think I'm done blaming other people. I think it's time for me to see what else is there, see how else I can express myself while I'm still incarnated. And so this is where you call certain teachers, certain courses. This is where you hear somebody say something that you needed to know at that specific time. And it touches you at such a deep level. You're like, okay, right. I get it. And so you dig deeper in that, whatever it is that you heard, you begin doing research. And so that's where your spirit guides then are like, all right, she's taking action, let's do it. They bring more things to you, more people, more resources that are going to help you. And so when you go back to the astral plane, you guys celebrate, right? By the way, whether you are consciously changing your life or not, your spirit guides still celebrate. They still cheer you on. Your spirit guides, your spirit family, they're not going to tell you how to be. This is your play. This is your life. They're only here to assist you to shift from your current vibration to the next. They are here to offer resources on your spiritual path. So with the Akashic Record, you can go that route. And this is just not for women, men and women, or however you identify yourself. You can literally, when you get an Akashic Record reading done, it can show you who you are, like the true energies of your soul and how you are meant to express that in your life very practically every day. And it can show you what blocks and restrictions and patterns that you are currently engaged in that are not doing you any good right now. If anything, they could be going against who you are, your divine soul energetics, and your divine soul blueprint. And then also, in the Akashic Record is also where you find part of your soul level energetics is the divine soul blueprint and the manifestation blueprint. Now, the manifestation blueprint is all about how to use the soul level energetics in your daily life, like the practical ways to use this vital energy to create your life in a very specific way that is aligned to you. Because we are all unique and different, right? And so with this difference, you get to understand, you get to know, how am I different from this person? And how are they different from me, right? And that creates beautiful relationships and connections that honor who you are and that person or whoever, right? But for women in particular, if you just connected to your divine feminine energy, you don't really have to go through the Akashic Record and find out what blocks you're currently engaged in that are entangling your energy in particular situations. Your divine energetic feminine energy is going to eradicate that so fast that you wonder how you operated in these to begin with, right? So this is why I'm very excited to be doing this free Divine Feminine Energy Masterclass on May 8th. And I'm going to be diving deeper on how you can activate this powerful energy that can literally change your life at every level. You know how people do, you know how there's like mindset, self-concept, and some people like to script. That's not for everybody. I can't tell you how many mentors have told me, you need to script and, do it for so many days. And I've done that and that has never worked for me. It's because the way I am meant to use my energy is very different. And so when I give myself permission to actually align to my own divine energy and also feminine energy, I was able to shift things very quickly at every level. Mental, emotional, even physical and spiritual. There are so many beings of light that are around us that are eager and willing to help us, to guide us in our everyday life and when we have an issue, but we're not able to tune in, we're not able to hear them, we're not able to recognize that these are good. Because of all of the negativity that is currently going on in our world, we are so far into fear that anything that does not match the lenses, what we know, right? Our current life is negative and to be feared. How would you receive the guidance of your spirit guides if you're always in fear? How would you even know who you really are if you are programmed to stay away from anything that, for example, I grew up Catholic and I was programmed majorly in that religion. It's all about separating you from your true power and seeking truth from an authority figure outside of yourself. And to come back to this one truth. Oh no, beware, don't do this, don't do that. They know what they're doing. They know. And they know about divine feminine energy. They know about our true power, that we are very powerful and we're different. And we're not all from this planet, by the way. This information is found in your Akashic Record, which are just, an energetic database. We are not all from this planet. We all chose to incarnate here for specific reasons, to help shift the frequency of this planet to a higher level of divine self-expression in sovereignty, not in energetic labor, not to use your energy in fear. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know who you are, and so you just kind of look outside of yourself to try and find yourself. But there's a way to find out what the truth of who you are really is. It's not going to come from a place where there's a lot of fear. Ooh, beware. Don't do this, don't do that. That's limitation 101. They keep us limited and keep us thinking in this very specific box, right? So when you have a dream, for example, and you see a being of light, for example, first thing is going to be fear, which I understand. Our survival instinct has, they have to keep us safe. I get it. And then you become afraid from then on, like, oh my God, I'm going to sleep with the light on or whatever. There are beings of light that are here right now. And this is a very, very specific, very important time for us to awaken and to connect with our spiritual collective. This is a time we're being asked to awaken. Thank you all so much for joining. I'm so sorry I've been going on and on. I didn't even see. Thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate it. This is my first live. I'm going to be coming on for the next few days leading up to the feminine embodiment, divine feminine embodiment masterclass, which is for free, where I'm going to be teaching a lot about what the divine feminine is, what it isn't, how you can activate it, and how you can use it every day. How you can tap in and literally have her guide your steps and receive insight on certain situations. She's gonna show you how to be in your power, how to be yourself. Not from fear, not in fear, but your true sovereignty, the truth of who you are. You are going to be reintroducing yourself to a very powerful force, and that's going to change everything for you. The divine feminine is not weak. The divine feminine is not just soft, cute. That's it's an aspect of the divine feminine, but that's not everything. That's not all that it is. There's more. There's power that some men have actually been afraid of. When you are aligned to your divine feminine, your masculine in your life, whether that's your husband, your fiance, your boyfriend, even male friends, they begin to recognize truth. You begin to show up in your power, and you begin to be safe for the masculine in your life. You begin to be a safe place for them. There's a lot of work that needs to be done as far as healing the masculine and feminine energies. When you awaken your divine feminine, you are creating such a sacred space for your masculine and for the people in your life in general. They begin to recognize truth in you, how you are vibrating, your frequency. And for some of you, depending on what your soul level energetics are, For the people that are gifted and natural healers and gifted in being in relationships, people are going to be coming to you. They're going to be coming to you seeking assistance, soul level and energetic healing. You begin to hold a sacred space for people so that they can come into your energy and really reclaim parts of themselves that they may have maybe abandoned along the way while here on this planet. People begin to heal themselves just in your presence, if that's one of your divine energetics. And some of you, when you awaken your divine feminine, you're going to be speaking such truth with a high level of resonance that people are actually going to feel your frequency from your vocal cords. It's going to resonate very deeply in people because that's just your divine energy, to speak truth authentically, unedited. So then you are giving that gift, one, to yourself, two, to others, so that they can also activate something within themselves if they are ready and if they choose it, to begin to tap into their own frequencies as well. And some of you, if you love everything to do with the physical reality, whether that's money, enjoying life in general, there's nothing wrong with money. There's nothing wrong with enjoying all the beautiful things that are on this world. We are on the physical plane. We are meant to enjoy things. I'm gonna have some spiritual people say, oh, money is not spiritual. The love of money is whatever. That's saying we're not gonna regurgitate limitation here. You can be spiritual, but you can enjoy money. You can love sex. But I'm not saying that go out there and like sleep with everybody. There's a better way to do that. Not sleep with everybody, but if you choose not to commit to someone, as long as there's an understanding on all parties about, okay, what you're doing, and as long as they have the free will to choose you in your many level of divine energy expression in that way, and they choose that, that's fine. But as long as there's transparency, do what you want to do. But I'm not giving anybody permission to go sleep around everywhere. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful energies that you can tap into. There are ways to use this energy that can manifest very quickly for you. But that's another topic for another time. Now, for the women that are going to be joining me in a free masterclass about divine feminine energy and embodiment, I'm going to be touching on this. I'm going to be touching on how you can use your sexual energy to create. We're going to talk about how to heal the womb. The womb has been programmed immensely with limitation. There are frequencies of fear, limitation, guilt, and shame in the womb. But you see, that's a portal of creation. If you healed your womb and you tapped into your divine feminine energy and you use your sexual energy, you are unstoppable. You become untouchable. It isn't to say that now you grow a big head and come from ego. It's not that at all. When you connect to your true divine nature, it sort of forces you to be authentic, to be your truth, and not to come from fear. Anything that is from fear is going to be exposed by the divine feminine energy, but in such a loving way, in a way that is not disruptive. The only time that I've seen a woman shift her life in what seemed to be like dramatic was because they were in a relationship where they were being cheated on, right? And she chose to stay and endured the pain, therefore putting her womb energy in such a limiting place that it's not good. The only time that I've seen that divine feminine energy came out and like really cleared that so profoundly and so quickly was a blowout. Like drama was created, but she was in her power and she didn't care. She was like, I am done. He started begging. She's like, no, I've gone through too much with you. It's time. It's my time to really shine, to be myself. It's time for me to express who I am and to not be limited by you anymore. So what happened there was that the womb was cleared. The divine feminine energy was activated. What else? Her heart was connected to her womb energy and her divine essence. That combination of these three energies, you can't make excuses for people or anything that limits you. Like, it's impossible. If anything, if you try to like make excuses for someone or like make excuses for yourself for staying in a particular situation, you're gonna feel very, very wrong in your own body. Like, this is not right. It's basically like an itch that the more you think about it, the more you look at it and you're not itching, the more like you feel like, I need to itch this. And then finally, after you itch it, you feel relief. It's like that. So what I teach is not fluff stuff. There's a lot of fluff stuff out here. I've seen a lot of the thing that I've seen often about divine feminine energy on this app is the dark feminine energy. She's unbothered. This, that. Yeah, there's a small aspect of that, but that's not it. Really. That's not true divine feminine energy. It's like your ego latches onto this. Okay, I can understand why some people think that that's what feminine energy only is. If you've been operating from limitation for a long time, and someone introduces you to a divine energy that you didn't know that you had, like power that's inside of you, you know what's gonna happen? There's gonna be a part of yourself, the ego part, is gonna want to show people. It's gonna wanna prove to people that, yeah, I'm actually all that. And I don't take no bullshit. I am divine, I'm whatever. It's like, basically what I'm getting here is the performative. People taking something sacred and then bringing it into the ego to perform. I'm so divine. Yeah, I'm this, I'm that. That is still coming from ego. That is still actually, it has energies of limitation in it. And it's only going to limit you. And the people that are lured by that. But obviously they're coming to you, they think that this is it. Because they recognize at a deep level that, okay, there may be something to this. Let's see. I fell into this a few years ago. And then I found out. My soul was like, yeah, that's a minuscule part of it, but that's not it either. It's not it. Until I healed my wound and came from that place and had her show me what I truly feel like at a spiritual level. Show me how to be, guide me and walk through me. Awaken the divine feminine. So, I'm gonna be back tomorrow, same time. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to be coming here. I'm so sorry. Something keeps popping on my screen. I'm going to be coming back tomorrow and we're going to dive deeper into this topic and more. If you are interested in the free masterclass about divine feminine energy and embodiment, like what you're going to learn a lot about what it is and what it isn't, and how to tap into that and come from a place of authentic alignment, then tap the link into my bio and then, sign up for that and mark your calendars. I want to thank you. I will see you tomorrow. I will see you